I will turn you back up, Zeno.
Alright. And it looks like we are also off to the race here. Seems like Mage was a little bit slower, or maybe that's just stream delay, who knows?
Also worth noting that Mage has to check his, or to translate his bingo card, I believe, so he normally gets off to a slightly slower start than other racers.
That is true, because
Right, this
Mage
has
is
been
speaking in Chinese.
a discussion in the past because, yeah, it's kind of unfair advantage for the rest of us since Bingo Sync doesn't have a Chinese plugin or anything, but obviously Mage has still done very well in the tournament, so it's
Yeah,
not.
he's reached the semifinals.
Yeah, not too big an impediment. Oh, this is winners finals, but yeah, semifinals in the overarching scheme of things, I guess. The winner of this will go on to grand finals. The loser will drop down to losers finals, where they will play the winner of wait, never mind. To be determined. One of me, Siplex, or Murray.
And they find 620 Geo in the Fury chest. That is a lot of Geo.
It's a really
Very
nice
rich
start.
seed.
That's uh, definitely one of the best.
Speaking of nice starts, do you think we'll see an early Brooding Moloch play? It is on the edge.
It's actually not a bad. I have not looked at the card, so um, yeah, actually, it's definitely worse than row 5, I think. And look at that row 5. That is good.
Yeah.
Row 4 kind of not so good, but still I don't know. You start in row 5, you can't feel too bad about that with
Yeah,
four guaranteed goals.
yeah, and locking yourself in a row with Soul Tyrant just seems like a very stupid idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, maybe if the other goals were really quick, you'd consider that, but with a randomized goal, 2 Soul Warriors, and 5 Grubs in Deepness, which does require quite a few items, not really a great row to start off in.
yeah. All things considered, actually,
With
not
that
a
said, it looks like Mage is going for it.
interesting. Um, this isn't super hard to do early on, but yeah, as we've said, this is this is giving up about he better heal here too. Yeah, this is giving up like around 2 minutes early on and locking into a row which is not necessarily the best one. You forgo any knowledge of what the items of the seed are going to be by doing this.
Yeah, in exchange for a potential board advantage, but on this board, I don't think it's an advantage.
Yep, the big difference, of course, is row 2 is better than row 4, right? Like, row 4 only has one decent goal which doesn't require Mantis Claw, which is the 4 Hot Springs.
Row 4 does have some very interesting synergy with Coliseum 1, Pale Lurker, and Take a Bath in all 4 Hot Springs, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's a potential synergy. It's hard to really call synergy, though, because, like, Coliseum will still take 5 minutes or so with typical loadout, but it's not going to take 8 minutes or 3 minutes to get there now, since you're dividing that up between the different goals.
Meanwhile, Mick is going for the early Resting Grounds play, skipping out on False Knight entirely. He's completely abandoning that goal.
I like that. Obviously, Mick also likes this play, and he's very well known for liking it, but I think that having an item-focused early game is a pretty good approach here. Especially if you want to goad your opponent into locking into... Uh-oh, I just realized we have both audios on. My bad. Yeah, if you want to goad your opponent into locking into row 1, like, there aren't any goals you can rush in row 5, so your best bet is to just clear as many items as possible and get ready to grab a bunch of goals at once.
Mick getting the safety bench, by the way. Not fully confident in his darkroom, it seems.
Yeah, it's one of those things which can be kind of annoying to decide because it's very rare that that bench is useful. Like, you know, you could find Claw and Resting Grounds and come back to Crystal Peak, but even then you'll have to walk out of Crystal Peak afterwards, so you lose all the time save.
On the other hand, you really don't want to like accidentally die in the darkroom or something, and your closest bench is in Dirtmouth.
That's true.
That would absolutely suck.
Personally, oh, Mick is very rusty. Personally, I prefer benching in Crossroads Stag. That way you save the Geo from not having to open it, but you still get the warp back. Although that's a little risky because a couple of times I've done the big dumb where you bench in the Stag Station and then have to walk back from Dirtmouth.
Mick deciding to take this very slow now.
I think that that's a very reasonable approach. Oh my god. And he dies.
I suppose
So
that safety bench is paying off now.
yeah, not exactly looking like a winner's final so far. Both runners showing a good bit of rust.
Yeah, after 3 weeks, it's very understandable though if nobody has actually done any randomizer racing.
Yeah. That happens. I mean, and you have to remember too, like we're comparing to a month ago where we were, coming off of over 2 months of tournament races, so everyone was really well practiced in this format.
Making his second attempt at this darkroom.
I think second is being used a little broadly there, but yeah, we'll round down.
We'll be generous.
All right, Mick, kill that shade. Good. It's a lot of Geo to lose otherwise.
Yeah, you, with the big money chest in by Fury, you really do not want to leave your shade behind, if at all avoidable.
Okay, and right away we're locked in. So we haven't really talked about row 2 yet. So row 2 has 2 really good goals. 3 notches and 3 king's idols are super easy and beneficial. Yeah, the annoying thing is Bread and Sly requires Claw, unless we're going to see some serious acrobatics here.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Is it possible to shade skip up that if you have wings?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't think it is. I think it's actually completely claw locked.
I think that it's doable with some extra health, some explosion bogos, etc.
Oh yeah, you can explosion pogo. Never mind.
Yeah. Alright, Gathering Swarm.
But Mage did find dive, so can I go check?
And dive, yeah.
Catch
so
quickly here. That also means that Mage is gonna have an easier time. If he goes into Resting Grounds after this, he can check the Catacombs immediately, which Mage can't right now.
True, but he can't check Soul Eater yet, so that can be a double-edged sword if the real item you want is the second one.
Speaking of which, is Mick gonna moonwalk out of the dream? This is the real decider of the race here, guys. He does it!
Dream Wielder, almost vanilla. And our 2 items, Long Nail and Spore Shroom. Not the best, I will say.
Does allow killing boulders, Spore Shroom that is, but at 500 essence, you really don't want that to be the solution.
Yeah, also Spore Shroom almost certainly was not placed there by Balder logic, since dive is so early.
True. And more money.
Yeah, so Resting Grounds, not terribly exciting here. Mage definitely got the better starting pool.
Only paying off in terms of money, not really much else.
Yeah, Dream Shield at Soul Catcher also not very good.
I don't know. Dream Shield is actually like
No,
I quite like Dream Shield actually nowadays. If you don't have anything else to use, Dream Shield actually can add quite a bit of damage.
not really. Dream Shield's damage is like 4 times too low for what it wants to do.
I mean, yeah, if you have any other charm, yeah, use that. But like in a situation where you don't have other charms, yeah, Dream Shield adds nice DPS.
Alright, so uh, yeah, so for Mage, once again, a lot of item searching to get through Row 2. Either Cyclone Slash could be very trolly this seed, and without Claw he can't get either Beretta or the 3 grubs in Queen's Garden. Yep,
It
for
seems like we're being told that my mic volume is really low.
still? Okay, well, I will turn Discord back up now that people are happy with the volume.
And both of our runners here are facing off against Gruth's mother.
Yeah, this is going to delay dive for Mick, which
Yeah.
it isn't necessarily going to be a big deal. Like, the alternative is to get dive and do resting grounds or green path, which like isn't that much more appealing than checking the 3 shops.
Yeah, Mage unfortunately not being able to exploit his dive too much here since Grossmother flew up for him.
Yeah. Dive
Grossmother's AI is very RNG.
Dive is a very awkward spell to use in general. It's so slow, the worst DPS by far out of the 3, but it's very nice for safety.
Yeah, it gives a lot of iframes. Even unupgraded. Mick setting up his Shade Skip. I suppose there's no air stall, so they got a Shade Skip over there anyway.
Yeah. No coming through from the top either, even with dive. So, this is the only way to do it. It's not super slow either.
Yeah, you need Claw to go through the Blue Lake into Saluba, right?
Yeah, Claw or Wings.
Or Wings.
You can lure Venge Flyover to do a Pogo, but you don't get enough height without one of those two.
That also seems like a really, like,
Really,
stupid thing to do.
really
like,
slow? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, you have to go through all of Blue Lake and then, like, lure a Vengefly. I'd rather just Shade Skip at that point. And we all know I'm pretty bad at the Shade Skip.
You're not saving time. Spell Twister early on. Mick buys.
Interesting, because he does not have spells.
Yeah, not a huge gamble to expect to get one spell, but not to mention it's a goal on his row now. I had forgotten where it was on the board, but yeah, that's going to save a bit of time because Salubra is one of the slower backtracks.
Yeah, and if it's on his board, yeah, I can totally see it. Especially since he still has 500 plus Geo, so he doesn't really lose the chance to buy a progression item if they find one.
He can still buy anything he wants from the shop. Like, if we get Claw and Cloak in the shops, then yeah, that'll be a little annoying, but you don't really bet on that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Both of them also checking the shops. Fragile
Heart and Quick Focus.
Fragile Heart, one of your more life charms, if I've understood it correctly in randomizers.
Yep, Fragile Heart, generally one of my favorite convenience charms. Quick Focus, one of Mick's favorites. The early Dream Nail, too. Fascinating. It's useless, almost, but still.
Were there any other gold charms in there? I don't think so.
No, we don't have any charm goals on here except Shaman Stone and Quick Slash.
Yeah, and Quick Slash.
But yeah, so that Dream Nail not doing a lot for us. That opens up Soul Tyrant, makes Fat Pins easier, and allows us to kill Hera, but nothing else.
It does allow some nice synergy, I suppose, with Dream Wielder that Mick has and the spells.
Yeah, but generally, I don't know. Dream Wielder is not really useful without level 2 spells, in my opinion. It's like, before that point, you're not really out damaging your nail.
That's probably true, yeah.
Maybe with VS doubles you can do it, but not with the other spells.
Yeah, and Shaman Stun probably.
Yeah, definitely not with just dive, because like I said before, dive is so slow. Only level 2 spell that can't one cycle Umu.
Really? Wow. That's interesting to know, actually.
Yeah, it's not even close either.
On the other hand, Dive does give a lot of iframes, which
Yeah, I mean,
is a nice
it's
safety.
not a bad spell. I'm not trying to say that. It's just not a fast spell.
Yeah, but with the level of rust that the players have already seen for themselves, Mick might just want to go for the slightly safer option if he has any doubts, basically. We'll see. He's doing False Knight without any spell. Oh, of course he doesn't, because he doesn't have spells.
Yep, this is basically mandatory for Mick at this point. The interesting thing is that, and Mick likes this play, he's going to be put right at Mound with a Balder kill, so we'll see if he goes into Green Path. It's a pretty slow walk to get at least to the Green Path stag with no movement items, but the alternative is to go back to Resting Grounds, check the one item there, and then if that isn't anything, you do Green Path anyways.
Which is kind of slow to go back for the one item, but on the other hand, if that one item is like a dash, then obviously missing that would be so bad.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that even for Mick, the Resting Grounds chest is the fastest item he can check at this point. The next fastest, of course, is Mothwing Cloak, the Green Path chest, and worst of all, Balder Shell. Oh, well,
Yeah, but
not quite worst of all. Worst of all is Fluke Nest, but Balder Shell is pretty bad too.
I felt the vitriol in your voice when you said that too.
I mean, yeah, you have to shade skip for both the Green Path chest and Balder Shell, so like
It's really something you want to avoid.
it's
if
a pick
possible.
it's a pick your poison sort of thing. So like you think about it, Green Path has 3 items. Green Path only has 1 item that you actually want to check right now, if you can possibly help it.
Yeah, it is a nice feature, I suppose, to like be close to other checks in general, even if they're still long, like in case you don't get lucky. But
But
ideally, just find something else.
right, the downside of that is being close to slow checks can keep you from doing fast good checks somewhere else.
And Mick is gonna find his own Dream Shield.
Yep. Already has Soul Twister equipped though, and Dream Wielder, so I don't think he'll be too tempted here.
Yeah, once you have a damage spell, it's probably not that worth to use Dream Shield. In terms of damage up, I mean, it's still dive, so in terms of damage up, it might still be worth to use Dream Shield.
Yep, Mick going to rush Rested Grounds. I like this. Actually, a neat play he could do here is leave his bench in Ancestral Mounds and save quit if Resting Grounds doesn't turn out.
Yeah, and then go to Green Path after that.
I think that's going to be pretty optimal for him, and that should put him like maybe 10 to... I'm tempted to say like around 20 seconds out of Mage. He's lost a bit of the lead from Alec because of the death in Darkroom, but he's definitely still ahead.
Mick is taking his time to kill these guys, though.
Yeah, interesting,
Not
right?
really sure what he's gonna get the money for. Maybe it's just generally to have money.
I mean, if this is a Fluke Seed, money is super important, but
True.
There's enough relics with a Fluke Seed that you're generally not in dire conditions.
Yeah, and the shops haven't really revealed any progression item. I suppose he could want money for Leg Eater, but Leg Eater is not even available right now.
Yeah, Mick throws away his bench, so I mean it's not that much slower to come from Dirtmouth, and probably is better, but interesting to note.
Yeah, he might have just not been thinking about it either.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that the Mound play is objectively superior, because that's not a great bench to be stuck at. But like if this is a dash or something, then it's kind of annoying to have to walk back from a stack station.
Yeah. There's also a lot of like a lot of these like routing options that you have to do on the fly are actually also really difficult to do on the fly because, I mean, these are not things you do in a normal run. And when you're in the middle of a race, you're probably not going to be thinking about these weird, like, esoteric, can I save like 10 seconds here? You're going to be thinking more in terms of, like, what is the best place I can check in general right now?
Right. One play that I used to like, but I've kind of soured on more recently, is what we see Mick doing here. Like doing this early no items resting grounds check and walking down to King Station. Like, in practice, I think that it's usually a little better to just quit out from the chest and come back when you're better equipped to make this trip down a little faster.
Yeah, because I mean, I suppose he has a dive, which allows him to fall quickly. But then again, this is with quality of life, so he can just inventory drop.
Yeah, and
Um,
the annoying thing is like this next room uh, goes back and forth a number of times, so dash really does make it a good bit faster. This is
yeah, animals.
this room is longer horizontally than it looks.
Yeah, because you have to go like right and left and right and left again.
Yeah, especially if you come and check this journal. And the annoying thing about coming down here early is you can't check Gorgeous Husk, because if you do that, then you lock yourself out of the stag. So it's all kind of awkward. Like, you make your first trip here, but you can't do anything you want to do.
Yeah, and it doesn't really give access to many checks either.
No, like, the only thing this sets up for is Fluke Farm in the future. Because
Yeah.
if there's any progression, like, you're just losing time. Mick! No, Mick, why?
He failed it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Well, he can recover into the stag, I suppose.
right. Thankfully, he can recover into the stag, so...
He wanted to
Crisis...
go for the gorgeous husk.
Right, crisis averted.
I really do feel like Mick wants this to be a fluke marm seed at this point.
I mean, it's objectively optimal for him for this to be a fluke seed, since, like, that saves a lot of time on the waterways play, puts you right next to Dung Defender once you get your vertical movement. But,
That's
yeah,
true. I mean,
and, yeah, if Dash doesn't show up, this doesn't lose time for Mick. But if Dash does save time, if Dash does show up, then I think Mage probably gets back maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds on that. It's always hard to calculate the exact time save from Dash, but it's pretty substantial normally.
yeah, you really do not want to be down a dash in a race. It's pretty terrible.
Yes, that has been my experience. Being down at Dash has led to me losing. That's pretty common, I think.
Yeah, I think, like, how many people in the tournament have actually won a race where they were down a dash?
Me several times.
Oh wow.
Well,
Look at
not
this guy.
not down a dash. There's been I don't know if we've had anyone win down by dash. I know we've had a number of people win without dash.
I
Which
won,
is a different
I won a
thing.
race where I never had dash.
I've had like 3 races where neither player had dash because like both of them were in awful locations.
I remember that I had a race where dash was at Watch a Knight's chest, and I killed Watch a Knight early, so I didn't have Claw to check it. So my opponent had dash because they checked it later, but I never had dash, but I still managed to win the race. But like that's a real rarity, basically. If that happens, you're pretty unfortunate.
We get an ad from Mage.
Lovely. Mick, meanwhile, going back to Green Path, I mean, he does need a lot of money for the Fluke Marm play, so maybe he just wants the cash. Or maybe he's gonna check all of Green Path, and if there's nothing here, then he's gonna go to Fluke Marm. I'd ideally go for checking Green Path at this point.
Yeah, Fluke Marm is not more appealing than Hornet. Not to mention, like, if you go for Fluke Marm and it's a bust, that's a losing play.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how much I like my early Fluke Marm plays, but like, it's pretty bad.
Right, you go for it once you know you have to. It's a very far away from the meta.
Yeah,
so
or for meme review.
It loses a lot of time if it's wrong.
To be fair though, like, going for a Fluke Marm early, when you have other options, it's like the ultimate ball strat. Like,
I mean, it's not terrible for Mick since he has to clear waterways anyways for Dung Defender. Like, we know he's going to do that. But, ideally, you do that when you're better equipped for it.
yeah, and meanwhile, Mick here is not even bothering with the fireball skips. Kind of hard since he doesn't have fireball. But,
yeah, I was about to say, doing fireball skips right now seems a little suboptimal to me. Yeah, requiring you to load up another save and farm for soul.
it might be fast.
It's possible.
Interesting that. I suppose that rescue zone in Deep Nest is in fact a goal. So.
It's a center goal, you know. Both players are going to want that. Both players have a Deep Nest goal already in their home realm, so Deep Nest
is
pretty strong. Yeah.
I suppose that's good for Mick that he didn't go sell relics or anything because I think he could have.
Yeah, Mick has.
Killed Zote.
Yeah, Mick has the better Deep Nest goal by far, though. Going for that last scrub and beast den. Mick not quite having an optimal bench liking fight either.
Yeah, bench linking is kind of awkward when you don't have fireball or howling wraiths.
But yeah, Mick managing to prevail after a bit of awkwardness. But yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, that beast den grub can be really annoying if you're in a wing seed.
Which one specifically?
The one in beast den.
Oh yeah.
The beast den grub and beast den.
Yeah, because you like. Sorry, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, because it's either claw locked or you have to like do these really awkward spike / shade pogos up the hill.
Yeah, it's quite slow, especially if you get a nail upgrade.
Yeah, or two, like you had in that one race.
No, I didn't even have nail upgrades. I went in there not knowing that it was possible, and kind of hoping that Sean had removed the hard save, which he had not.
Oh.
Which was.
Did you just have fragile strength or something then? Because I remember you had difficulty due to the nail damage.
No, I just killed them with 4 hits. Oh. I was just bad at the bogos.
Oh, okay.
But that happens sometimes, and we have Crystal Heart, so that opens up fungal wastes.
It also opens up Boulder Shell.
It makes Boulder Shell a lot faster. It also makes
Boulder Shell is now a check I would totally go for.
Right. I mean, it makes both. It removes both shade skips from Green Path. It lets you get across Queen Station. Surprisingly useful, considering Crystal Heart is normally the worst movement upgrade you can get.
Yeah, but if you don't have a dash, it's still good.
If you don't have a dash, it's still something you want to have.
Mage immediately going for Boulder Shell, it seems.
Yep, I like this. You're routing. You're going to want to get that bench outside of the Green Path chest. Hornet.
That was interesting Hornet placement.
Hornet can do some really weird stuff when she wants to.
She's got a bit of a mind of her own. She doesn't really conform to the rule set that the knight has.
Yeah. Well, just wait until Silksong, right? That's going to be the new meta. All those grapple jumps we see in the trailer. Yeah, you'll
haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen it. Well, we're gonna be clipping through some gates with those. You just know it.
I actually have zero idea of what you're talking about because I intentionally didn't watch the trailer because I want to go in as completely blind as possible.
Okay, so Mick now following. Both runners going to check Boulder Shell.
I mean, Boulder Shell is the optimal play, I think, in this position. So.
Yep. Unfortunately, not too good for them. And so that leaves us with what? 4 checks for progression.
Yeah, Mick also taking the slow way to Boulder Shell, where he has to go around this way. You can't crystal dash this distance easily because there's no good place to crystal dash off of. It's why in the 1xx runs we go the lower route instead.
Although keep in mind that in those runs you can just wall jump up from the right side of this room, so that saves a lot of time in its own right.
That is true.
More than Crystal Heart does. So I think that probably the time save cancels out. Yeah, still getting a little bit of buffering from Mage, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Mick can leverage his advantage of having King Station unlocked here. One thing that this money pickup here does is actually it allows Mick to go buy the simple key and go do Fluke Mark.
True. Interesting too that Mick is going to farm this other Balder. It's a fast way to get Geo.
Yeah,
I
it's 50 Geo
suppose.
for each Balder you kill.
I
So if you
like Mage having the presence of mind to grab the seal though. That's much more efficient, and that makes that's the kind of stuff you really want for Flute Farm because you're not really going to skip Lem normally.
yeah, I mean
Mick
he
actually
gives so much money when you
Mick,
sell.
Mick actually can skip Lem here. He can buy a simple key with the money from Gorgeous Husk and Moss, or not even Gorgeous Husk, just from Moss Charger. He'll be able to buy a nail upgrade too.
Interesting that Mick didn't slam into the ground there. That was odd.
Okay, so yep, we're pretty close to seeing this next item. So, like I said, the 4 progression spots we're looking at are the Green Path Chest, Leg Eater, Dash Master, and Mantis Claw, each of which is weighted as 1 item.
Yeah. Fluxy is still a possibility though.
Yeah, it's better than 20% right now.
Mick not grabbing the seal though.
Or is it better than 20%? I don't think it is.
I don't know.
Redact that comment. That was incorrect.
Just ignore anything Halafti says.
That's an option.
Neither of them going for any extra grubs here. Mage pretty well known for not liking grubs at all. He's not a friend of grubs, so I don't expect to see him pick up any extra grubs.
Yeah. And there's Mothwing Cloak. So,
I say that, but he's on his way to picking up extra grubs.
I mean, this is one of the easiest grubs to get, so...
Look at that.
Like,
Mage is a friend of grubs.
if you have any plans of ever getting Grub Song, you get that grub.
Yeah, and Grub Song is a charm that very often bites you in the ass if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Of course, the items which normally like to show up there is more going to be your Mothwing Cloak and Dreamnail variety, which we've already found. Like, once we have Mantis Claw or Monarch Wings, this seed is going to be in pretty good form. Like,
Mick not using his Crystal Dash to its full effectiveness, interestingly enough. Crystal Dash is so much better to use than even just walking these short distances when you don't have dash.
that's true. He's not missing the big one, so I don't think. And
Not in general.
like, one of the big dangers of Crystal Dashing too much right here is that you can't save yourself off of a bonk with a wall jump or double jump. So playing a little conservatively around the acid can make a little bit of sense here. Even though it means being suboptimal.
Yeah, and being suboptimal is of course the worst thing that can happen.
But yeah, so the interesting thing here is we derided Mage's play into row 1 a bit early on, but if we find Claw and Fungal Waste here, Mage is going to have an extremely dominant board position.
Oh yeah, he can just he can rescue Bretta and Sly immediately.
He can do all of the Queen's Garden stuff. Like,
yeah, he can go down into Deepness to rescue Zote. He could talk to Emilicia at that point. With the items as they are now, like finding these progression items this quickly has really quickly paid off the gamble that Mage took, basically.
right. I mean, yeah, Mick's advantage was he had all these goals which you can normally get, but aren't necessarily fast. Like Dung Defender or Broken Vessel, gonna take a while for him. And, he has no good way to get through row 4.
Yeah, row 4 is gonna be the real killer for Mick here.
Yeah. I think ideally for Mick, like, he wants to find Claw and, a very early Shade Soul wherever he goes.
Yeah, the only real option Mick has to get out of row 4 that is good at the moment is probably talk to Hornets.
No,
but
that requires Claw, so...
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, it's the only good goal of them.
You really think that with requiring Hornet 2 on top of a full Deepness clear? I find that kind of hard to justify. Like, the 3 goals all clustered around Coliseum are still going to be better, in my mind. But it's kind of debatable, so.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends, I suppose. I generally like to put off Coliseum as long as possible, because Coliseum is slow. And that usually means that I have the movement items to get up in Beast 10. And like usually I already have Killer Hornet 2 by that time. So usually just faster to go to Beast 10 instead of going to Coliseum 1. But depending on how the items happen, it might just be better to go Col 1, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think Mick has the luxury of postponing Coliseum with his board position. Like,
yeah,
maybe if he finds Claw here, he could go straight to Deep Nest, get the Deep Nest tag, and then, go back and do Hornet 2, but that still seems very slow to me. And
Steady Body and Nameless's Glory both here.
Yeah, not
irrelevant.
Not a terribly good leg eater, all things considered.
Yeah, Fragile Strength is pretty good, I'd say, but not right now. Like, Fragile Strength is good for damage, but they already have sort of damage progression.
Yeah,
they don't really need anything else.
Yeah, they don't really need the safeties at this point. Like, for mid-game, yeah, they're going to want more than this, but Fragile Strength isn't good enough on its own to really provide that.
Yeah, getting a Void Spell would be enough. Like, even just Descending Dark would probably be enough damage for the rest of the race.
To be honest, I'm sort of feeling the Nail 2 Fragile Strength play out of Mick. I feel like that's very possible. Mick,
yeah, it's also incredibly strong, actually.
Yeah, like, Mick, a very outspoken advocate of getting nail upgrades. So I think we could see that.
Yeah, like every speedrunner, or like in every single speedrun, you don't get nail upgrades because it's slow to go to Nailsmith, but they're actually surprisingly strong. Especially if you have Fragile Strength. Mage going up this fungal room for another Grubs. Interesting. Has Mage become more friendly to Grubs, or...?
I did not know about this anti-grub reputation that Mage supposedly had. So that's news to me. But this is not a terrible shortcut if you're not sure about whether you'll be able to get Mantis Swords on the first strip.
Yeah, it's you really don't want to go around.
Yeah, it's still like it takes a fair bit of time to open that gate though, and I'm more of the mind to normally orphan off Mantis Lords, even if it ends up being really costly. But yeah, both racers taking care to open this shortcut matters a lot more for Mick than for Mage.
Yeah, and I mean they don't really have the items to check the stuff from Mantis Lords anyway, so there's no reason to do it now.
They don't have the items to get to Mantis Lords.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, Mick has to open this because he has to get that goal later, but Mage had the option.
Yeah, I guess my commentating here is showing how rusty I am with this format too.
Yeah, actually, the only thing that Mage could really want from Mantis Lords is Quick Slash, right? Maybe his Mystere or Shade Cloak.
Oh.
There's Wings, so that's
unfortunately
good.
Not Claw.
That's good news for Mick, though. I think finding it here so that it helps him route in Mantis Lords.
With that, I think pretty much every single thing they need is found, except for Claw, I suppose, but... Oh, wait, hold up. When did Mage get the Quick Slash?
Mage is probably warping ahead to the future, where he's already at Mantis Claw.
Oh, I see. He's pointing.
Yeah, he's been buffering for so long. Like, he's put behind.
Yeah, I think Quick Slash might be at Mantis Claw in that case.
Yeah, most certainly.
Is what I guess.
But yeah, this is good. Yeah. I think the good thing for Mick here is that Mage can't get Bretta. And so that means that he's going to be stuck a little while longer in row 1.
Quick Slash being found by Mage.
Yep.
The card is spoiling us a little bit. That suddenly makes Mage's gamble to go early Moloch incredibly better.
You think so? I'm not sure Quick Slash is what he needs at this point. Like, I think that finding Quick Slash after Wings is a little bittersweet for me. Like, you really want a Claw if you're in Mage's position.
Yeah, but I meant more like he has 2 goals now.
That's
so
true.
like
That's true.
the big issue with his first row was that a lot of the goals were either randomized or really long, and he just finds a random goal. So like that takes a lot of pressure off of his bad road choice, basically.
Alright, and Mick gonna go straight for Mantis Swords, as does Mage, surprisingly, I think.
Interesting. I mean, both of them did open the shortcut, so both of them can get back here to check the items relatively quickly. I mean, it's still kind of slow. But...
Yeah, it's not super slow, and like this play makes a lot of sense for Mick. I'm not sure I know what Mage is looking for other than maybe Mantis Claw.
Yeah, and Mick does need to get some goals out, so
Yeah, I don't know what you should check as Mage. I kind of tempted to say you should just rush Soul Sanctum at this point. You know, go with your gut, do what you know you have to do, but because I think that following your opponent too closely here can be really dangerous when you can't compete for any of their goals.
yeah, I think checking, generally speaking, like high density item areas.
Yeah,
would
so
be a good idea here.
yeah, if I were a Mage, I would do like your quick Crystal Peak to check Deep Focus and Shopkeeper's Key, and then go into Soul Sanctum after that. Maybe.
Yeah, to get the Shade Soul check as well.
Right. The other nice thing is like you can get the King's Idol in Crystal Peak, start working on that. You also want to be picking up a lot of charms right now to get 3 extra notches. Like, you sort of have a constructive vision of how you're getting to these row 2 and row 3 goals, which you can't mark right now.
Speaking of King's Idols, that's actually interesting. If this is a bit of a big if, because I mean it's a pretty easy goal to get in general, but if Mage doesn't mark it, then Mick is actually in a good position to get it, since he has Dung Defender, which has a King's Idol nearby, and he needs to go to Pale Lurker, which has a King's Idol, and he's gonna need to pass through by a 3rd King's Idol on the way up to Colosseum anyway. So
yeah, Mick has a very strong path to get to that. Of course, the Dung Defender idol can be a little annoying without Claw, since it is a soft block, but that definitely won't hold Mick back if he feels like he can snipe that goal.
yeah, and I think like once you've defeated Dung Defender, if you're not planning on doing anything else in Waterways, which I mean with this setup he probably shouldn't, it's fine to just warp out.
I have a feeling that Mick is going to prepare to kill both bosses in Waterways. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I mean if he gets a nail upgrade, then Fluke Barn becomes much more tempting.
Right, it's really hard to orphan off Fluke Farm knowing that nothing will ever get you to come back there. You know?
Chad having some lovely discussion about the commentary.
Mage is doing something interesting here, checking Spore Shroom and abandoning Mantis Lords.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go into Deepnest.
This reminds me of a race which Shaddy had, I believe, where he swore off abandoning Mantis Lords because he killed the boss really early and never checked it, and it had, I don't know, like Dream Nail or Claw or something, and he lost because of that.
What race exactly?
I don't remember. It might not have been a tournament race. Might have been a community race or something. I remember it was Shaddy though. I would not forget that detail.
Anyways, it seems like Mage is going back to Swords now.
Decided not to go for Deep Nest.
Yeah, he
probably
opened the way.
Probably a good idea for him because like he wasn't getting 5 grubs anyways, and he can't mark Rescue's out without more preparation.
Yeah, and like I don't think most of the items or item checks in Deepness require Claw anyway, or Shade Cloak, which he doesn't have.
No, he can check both of the And now they can check
Speaking of Shade Cloak.
now they can check all 3 items in Deep Nest, actually. Plus High Flood if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, right. You can just.
Oh my god.
I'm bad. Oh wow. Okay, so at this point it really is just down to routing.
So yeah, Mage making the correct play here. Mantis Lord's real boom or bust location, and in this case, I would classify that as a boom.
Yeah, finding both Mantis Claw and Shade Cloak, like every single thing on this card is available to them now. I think. Is there anything that is restricted?
only item we're looking for now is Shaman Stone, and I don't think Mick is going to take any time to look for that at this point.
Yeah, the only case where you do checks at this point when you have all this is if they're like right in the way.
And our racers are pausing because Mage soft locked at Mantis Claw.
Yeah, Mage seems to have this issue where he soft locks when picking up items. I don't think I've seen any other runner have that.
Scurry had this issue, I know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's people who are playing on like older or manually installed versions of the randomizer. But yeah, that's gonna be very unfortunate for Mage.
Well, Mage does have the claw pickup, so if he's not interested in the other stuff, he could just go and get goals.
Did Mick really change his color? How rude. I thought that Mick had chosen a color and would stick with it. But I was wrong.
Being indecisive is a fan favorite around here, by the way.
Yes, we have a lot of racers who are indecisive in their color choices. Alright, but yes, Mage knows that he has to go back for Mantis Claw. That's not even a question.
No, Mage has Mantis Claw.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, Mage actually has Mantis Claw. That's... He can't continue from the node, but he still gets the item.
Okay, so he's just going back for Shade Cloak then. Which is still pretty nice, but not really going to get him anything since he probably won't be able to snipe Trader Lord.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking too is that he doesn't know that that's Shade Cloak, right? So...
Right. Well, yeah, obviously. I'm just saying that actually Shade Cloak could be pretty nice since Mage will be able to do both Queen's Garden Grubs right now, and Mick's not heading there anytime soon.
Could be an interesting snipe on Traitor Lord.
Yeah, they'll have to find something in Red 3 first, of course, but that shouldn't be too hard. Both racers can get map pens right now, and so...
Yeah, but I'm not sure I agree with... excuse me, I'm not sure I agree with Mage's goal here, or like what he's doing. In general, once you've found like all these progression items, like he soft locked out of the claw, right? But he still got it. Once he had all that, I think if I was Mage, I would have just started going for goals at that point and just forsaken the last item check, because there's really not many items that can make this better.
Yes, I agree with you that generally speaking I would abandon the item, but as you see, Mage has an ulterior motive for returning here.
That is true. He does have a Brennan Sly goal.
So that's a critical goal for his Red 2.
Right.
So
the funny thing is, I was thinking he should go for that goal, but like for some reason I wasn't thinking he should combat with that. I guess I'm just rusty at this. I imagine if I had been there, like I would have also like once you get Bretta, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I can pick up the goals now.
Yeah, Murray also making a good point that we're also looking for Cyclone right now. So Mage does want to work on goals right now, but that would be a really nice windfall if he were to find that, because he does have a lot of slower goals at the moment.
Yeah, but I see it more like I said earlier, when you find all these progression items, you're gonna want to start going for goals, and if you get item checks while going for goals, that's nice, and if you find the goal like on the way, that's nice, but you don't do checks with the intent of getting that as a goal at this point.
Yeah,
you go for other goals.
Frankly, my opinion at this point is that neither runners should be doing any checks that are remotely out of the way. So
yeah,
Like,
Check is a mistake at this point.
like I previously mentioned the idea of going into Crystal Peak to get Shopkeeper's Key and Deep Focus for Mage. I don't think you check Deep Focus at this point. I think that, you know, if you're going to go into Soul Sanctum, you're doing it as fast as possible now, because you just can't afford to waste time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I would not be surprised even if Mick skips Monarch Wings after Broken Vessel. Like, just because, you know, that's a 30-second check.
Is 30 seconds really? Wow.
I don't know. Like, if you're waiting from the end of the or from the start of the animation for Broken Vessel, like, you can quit out pretty early.
That's fair, but I don't think Broken Vessel counts as dead when you actually slap him. It's like way later.
No, Broken Vessel is instant. You're thinking of Lost Skin.
Oh, okay. Guess I'm just bad. To be fair, I don't pay attention to live split when I do runs.
So Mage ranking up a pretty big lead here off of this Rescue Bretta and Sly. So also revealing that he knows we're close to Mick. So Mick might have been feeling really good about his Mantis Lord's play. Not anymore.
Yeah, that's a bit rough, but
yeah,
Mick does have a lot of goals he can go for. It's just unfortunate they're all really slow.
I think we're seeing Mick go for Hot Springs now. I think that this is the panic, I have to get into row 3 ASAP.
I mean, I kind of agree with him that he needs to get into row 3, but I'm not sure if Hot Springs is the good goal to go for here.
I think Hot Springs is the first goal you go for. I don't think Pale Lurker is faster. But
that's true. He doesn't have any range in his spells.
Yeah, like if you're trying to kill Pale Lurker with Nail and D-Dive only, like that's gonna be really slow. Yeah. Alright, I was about to say we're gonna see an acid skip out of Mage, but no, he thinks better of it, so he's gonna go through the Shade Gate by Wraiths.
That's true, actually. He doesn't have we haven't found Isma's tier yet, so Shape of Una is not accessible.
Yeah, not going to be important though, even if it is one of the required goals. Like, those two goals are so just not relevant at this point.
Yeah,
like,
there's so many other goals you can go for.
Yeah, it's very possible we see this race over without either of those items found.
Mage still picking up relics though. What would he need money for at this point? I mean, he hasn't sold relics, but still. He doesn't really need more of them either.
The other thing to me is, like, Mage should be planning on getting 3 King's Idols, which certainly will make extra relics unnecessary.
Yeah, you know? I guess he might be wanting the Fountainhead Vessel shard. It costs 3,000 Geo, but again, like 3 King's Idols,
plus
that's like 2,400 right there.
The 3 seals he had before this. And yeah. I really disagree with this play in particular. Like,
yeah, going for this check is like definitely a mistake. It's so long. Like, you could go for goals.
Like, you really do want to find level 2 spells, and I won't begrudge Mick if he checks the 3 items down here in Deep Nest. I don't think Mage needs those spells the way Mick does so. And for both racers, I don't think that you waste time looking for those spells.
I guess what Mage might be thinking here is that he's gonna go into Queen's Gardens to get those stuff. Oh,
you're kidding. Well, we are seeing the mod log plays out of Mage at this point. I don't think that a single item he's checked since finding Wings has been bad for him.
Yeah, not a single frame wasted. Is this a speedrun?
After Wings, he found Quick Slash into Claw, into Shade Cloak, into Cyclone Slash. So Mick is sweating here.
Yeah, this is a really rough position.
There are some bullets coming out of Mick.
Yeah. What I was gonna say about Mage was that if I was Mage, I might have been thinking like I should go down into Queen's Gardens. I mean, that's a really long goal, but that's the only thing I can think of that he was thinking of when he went there.
Yeah.
And like just check the thing on the way.
That might have been an impulse quit out from Wraith, so. Oh no, he's going for Zote now. Oh, oof. This sucks for Mick, but
yeah.
Kind of inevitable from the randomized placements, you know? Like,
yeah. But it is a good play from Mage. He should have definitely gone for Zote.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's
probably
doing the correct play here.
Probably would have been faster still to come from Queen's Garden, but not a big difference. Like, the nice thing about coming from Queen's Garden is, like, he could have routed right into Trader Lord afterwards.
Yeah, he
Alright,
did
so
have to
that...
fight the arena battle though, which is kind of slow.
You're right. But, so that puts this goal into reserve for Mick, but probably not for long.
No, he still needs to visit the Forgotten Crossroads hot spring, I think. I actually haven't paid attention. Um, he needs to visit the Coliseum hot spring and the Pleasure House hot spring.
Yes, he's missing 3 of them, so that's not happening anytime soon. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not...
And he's going for Tram Pass?
Not sure what you can do in Mick's case. This is like a worst case scenario for items because Mage found the 2 most useful random items he could have found in Quick Slash and Cyclone Slash.
Yeah,
like you can see how contingent the structure is on those 2 finds for him.
Yeah, the the gamble to go for early Malek just really paid off insanely well for Mage in the seed.
Yeah. So Mick now setting up this Militia rescue. I like this because this is his best shot at actually locking in a row 3 goal at this point.
Zod in deepness is not gonna cut it.
No, that's dead at this point. And honestly, I think it was a mistake for him to even maybe rescue Zod at this point because it's gonna add a hot minute to his Coliseum fight.
He might have done it for the idol though.
Yeah, but you don't have to rescue Zod if you're going for the idol. Stress.
That is true. But like at that point, it's like
at that point you're gonna take the gamble that Mage avoids Deep Nest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
Mick might be thinking that Mage is going to go for Fountain Vessel. It's like in a lot of ways that is the more practical goal to go for. It's faster. It's just it
needs money for it.
It limits you in a lot of ways. All right, so we're gonna see
Mage
all of our item checks in a very fast span of time. So if you're Mick, what are you looking for here?
He looks like he might be trying to go for.
Never mind. Mick is in go mode.
But this is not going to work out because he needs to speak with Hornet at the City of Tierstadt. I see. He's going to get the.
He's getting the stag station. Yeah, he's not doing Garrett right now.
Yeah. That's okay. I think it would have been better to go for Colosseum, to be honest.
Yeah, well, doing Colosseum right now is super slow.
Yeah, I mean, not now, but like instead of going down into Deep Nest or something, he should have gone for Colosseum. I think.
Uh-oh. This is strange. Mick is doing the strange.
Yeah, this is gonna completely invalidate this goal. Is he just not remembering this?
Yikes.
I think he's not remembering this.
Can we get some yikes in chat?
Yeah, this is an F for sure. Oof.
Yeah, Hornet will not spawn there. That is a missable encounter.
Yeah, so that goal is completely dead to me now.
Unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
That was a must-get goal for Mick, I think. He can make do without it off of the 3 Coliseum goals, but yeah, ideally that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's still winnable.
Oh, of course, he doesn't need that goal, but it makes it a lot harder. Of course, the other side is like, that's not a goal which Mage is going to go for any time in the near future. And if he does, it'll waste a ton of time.
Mage taking this bench, I think that's the first time I've ever seen this bench be taken.
Yeah, the failed tramway bench is pretty rare. It's pretty good, but it's generally not the bench you want to use when you're entering Deep Nest from the
I see what he's doing.
Fungal Waste entrance.
Oh, never mind. I don't see what he's doing.
Looks like he's going back for the grub, which seems kind of weird because why don't you get it on the way in? But yeah,
I was thinking that maybe he was gonna bench, go down and save Zod, and then save quit up to the bench to get out. Which would have been an interesting play. I'm not sure it would have been good, but it would have been an interesting play.
Oh,
I've never seen it before.
I really do hope that Mick isn't going for Hornet 2 now.
Yeah, I dearly hope he's going for Kahlo.
He seems to be having a lot of issues with this acid skip. Oh no.
Oh god. I mean, Mick is under so much pressure right now.
Yeah, I think that Mick is just he's a little tilted, and his plan for the seed probably was contingent upon you not being under pressure for row 3 at this point.
Yeah.
But also another unfortunate thing for Mick is he missed wraiths while he was in Deep Nest. It was very fast pickup and he didn't get it, which means that like this Hornet 2 play is completely useless. He can't check Abyss Shriek with it. Like, not that he should be checking items, but he can't get a goal and he can't get an item. So
yeah, I don't know if he spoke during Seed of Tears, but like even if he didn't,
he did.
It's not gonna help him.
In before, Rules Arbiter Mick decides that talk to Hornet at COT statue plus Hera means talk to Hornet at COT statue and kill Hera.
That would actually be hilarious. I'd allow it. I'd allow it on the basis that it's ambiguous wording.
You know, Mick is gonna die here though, so it'll kind of be irrelevant, but...
It would be absolutely hilarious to have him argue that though.
I mean, Mick is the one who sets the rules for this. You know, he's the one in charge of bingo things, so...
It would be absolutely crazy, and I love it.
Okay,
I mean, the thing is, it would actually even work, right? Because every time you talk to a Hornet at Hera, you also kill a Hera.
So, you think that the tilt has led Mick to forget that he has strength? Because, let me tell you, Gathering Swarm, Dream Wielder, and Spell Twister, not doing it for me here.
Yeah, it's not against this boss. Not if you have dive only.
Yeah, like if you didn't have the nail upgrade, maybe Spell Twister would be justifiable, but seriously, like he's turning up so much damage right now.
Yeah, or if he had like Fireball or anything like that. Or,
yeah.
Interestingly enough, Howling Wraiths, because Howling Wraiths can actually stagger on Hornet too.
Wraiths is quite good against Hornet. Dive sucks against Hornet. The only move where you can really use it is her nail throw, and even then it's bad DPS.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a strat when you have Howling Waves. Not Shriek, but Howling Waves specifically, where you can actually, like, lock Hornet 2 into staggers. And she can't do anything. So if he had a Wraiths, I could definitely see this build being the build to go with.
Maybe, yeah. The thing with the Wraith Stunlock is that it's pretty contingent on like using Dream Wielder and Dream Nail to farm for souls, so I don't think Spell Twister makes too much of a difference. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's been my experience in using it before, though.
I haven't really used it personally. I just like.
Oh god.
I suppose Spell Twister would be nice, you know.
A second death here
Happens.
would be so devastating. I was going to say.
Yeah, especially since this is not giving him anything.
Yes, this is useless, and I think that this is just pure tilt. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel him. I tried to do Jonas Darkroom for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta let go and focus on the goals you can get, and the only explanation I can see is that it isn't computing to make that that's a dead goal now. That he fucked that up.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting because it either is a dead goal or he's already done it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's pretty clear what the intent of the goal is, and we've been rolling very strictly on that over the course of the tournament. So there's no wiggle room for making this. Jokes aside.
That's fair then. I'm always down for a bit of rules lawyering myself, but yeah. I generally hold the policy that if you find some weird like exploit, it's fine to use it once, but then we're gonna patch it.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mick, that's not in the cards here. Unless he can get Hornet to spawn there, he is toast.
I'd be very impressed if he managed to somehow.
Oh yeah, I would be fascinated. That would be the ultimate game knowledge play to find out that Hornet actually spawns the first time you re-enter Deep Nest after Dream Nailing Era or something. It was like, okay.
Oh, and Mage
like,
finds Dream Gates.
like, we might have been worried that Mage has not had a blessed enough seed so far. But, don't worry, the randomizer provides.
Yeah. The randomizer giveth and the randomizer taketh away.
Yes, giveth to Mage, taketh from them.
As it should be. Something perfectly balanced. It's a topical joke now, right?
Yeah, but well, I'm getting my Schadenfreude out of this since I very acutely felt the randomizer taking when I raced Mick last time, so you know, it goes around, it comes around.
Interesting that Mage is doing this in the dark now, because he never got the lantern that Mick bought.
Fortunately, Dark Deep Nest super easy with this item set. Even getting to the grub, I think. And did he just Dreamgate back to the beginning of the room?
So? I think so. He could have just taken damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, Hazard Warp is faster and easier. Oh no, he Dreamgated at the top of the room.
Yeah, near the grub.
Okay, so Mick seems to... Okay, I see two possibilities. Either Mick knows that he wasted time on Hornet and just killed her to save his pride, or Mick is going for the Tower of Love shortcut.
He's going up to Coliseum at this point.
Yep, I think that we saw Mick fight Hornet 2 for 3 times just to recover his pride. Which is
yeah.
that's a strat.
Yeah, pride is a thing you should probably avoid, folks.
Not going to judge the strat too hard, but maybe could have been better, you know.
Mick not even aware of the super quick ways across this room. I mean, in fairness, he doesn't really play 1xx runs, so I don't blame him for not knowing that.
Okay, gets
Grabbing
the
the king's
idol.
idols, though. I do like that.
Yeah,
I do like
mean,
grabbing idols.
At this point for Mick, nothing can be off the table because he knows that he doesn't have much time before Mage opens up the third line, and at that point, it gets really painful. Oh yeah. No! I thought we were finally seeing Mick make good plays, and I was wrong. Uh-oh. Xeno is rip, but so is Mick. Okay, Mick, what you gonna do? Mage did not fight Hornet. Mick fought Hornet. For, as far as we can tell, not much reason. Alright, here's the moment of truth. There's not much of a Hornet there, Mick. This is a big yikes. This is unfortunate. This is sad. This is the moment in which Mick knew he had lost. Did I not mention that I am taking great pleasure out of this? Poor Mick, though. I do feel bad. Like this is not the kind of race he wanted to have in winners finals. And he's had decent gameplay, but terrible decision making, and that's just cost him so badly here. Like the bad dark room death was one thing, and Mage has certainly gotten lucky, but this is the first real routing error, and like this is a catastrophic routing error, to be completely serious. Like this is a 10-minute investment with no reward. Oh, I forgot about dying to Ornament 2 twice. Yeah, I guess I should rescind the compliment. I apologize, chat. Yeah, and Mage just unstoppable at this point. So if you're Mage, let's talk about how you're going to take this home now. Fountain Vessel, Trader Lord's an option, though all of these are really options for him. Actually, this is locked in for Mage now, unless he does something stupid. What is Mick doing? I guess he's going for Dung Defender now. And he does get it last try. Fortunately, the rust was showing there a fair bit. And he's not going for Dung Defender, he's going for Militia. I guess. But yeah, anyways, to finish this off, like, Mage can snipe either of these. He could go for 2 Soul Warriors. It really is unclear to me how Mick possibly stops Mage at this point. Yeah, honestly, why is Mage even still in Deep Nest at this point? Mick's struggling a bit with the gate, but
Testing.
welcome back. So,
Hi.
Mick seems to be broken. Mick.exe has stopped working.
Yeah,
So,
the only thing that went down for me was Discord, actually. Everything else was fine, so I'm still in the whole race.
yeah, but I saw your comments in Twitch chat. But yep, so Mick puts Militia into reserve. And it increasingly seems like Mick just doesn't know how he wants to fix this row 2 problem. Or row 4 problem, rather. Like, I think we mentioned it early on when we were talking about the goals. Or rows, rather. Like, row 5 really good, row 4 really bad. And it kind of seems like Mick allowed himself to get locked into this side without a solid plan for how he wanted to approach it. I feel like he had to commit to the Coliseum gamble to make this work. And I think
especially after Hera died.
But yeah, like even without the bad Hera misplay, like I don't think that that goal on its own would have been enough, right? Like that's only one line.
Yeah, I think he should have gone for the, like I said, like Coliseum has a lot of synergy in that one row. So I agree, he should have gone for Coliseum 1.
Yeah, it's 3 goals at once. Also interesting to me that he bothered to get Tram Pass when that hasn't been a thing for him. Wasn't necessary either with Dreamnail for the map pins. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's no hive goal. Maybe he got it just in case he needed to check that or something.
I was thinking that he got that for Militia, but then he did the Spike Tunnel anyways.
The Spike Tunnel is just faster anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's riskier, but like if you're gonna do it, then like why get Tram Pass? I don't know. So yeah, a
It's
couple
kinda
of weird things on the routing points, I think. But
yeah, but I
and
really think the
he's
biggest knockdown for Carlo.
yeah, I think that also at this point I'm convinced Mick forgot about fragile strength, and I think that that has hurt him a ton. Because I think that if he knew that he had this nail damage available, he would be going for that, right?
Yeah, it would upgrade. Let's see.
He
Nail
has
1 is like 9
it would put him
damage.
at 13, I believe.
13.5, and I think this game runs up, so it would be at
Oh.
14 damage for Nail It.
I thought F strength rounds down, but no, you might be right actually. Yeah, I think it does round up, so 14. But
Actually, no, I'm fairly sure it rounds up because we get 74 point something damage for Nail Arts,
yeah,
but it still one-shots 75 HP enemies.
yeah, I just remembered it rounds up on L0, so you're right. You're right. But yeah, and like if he got the second nail upgrade, that would even put him up to something
And
ridiculous.
Mick now has
19.
3 King's Idols in reserve as well.
Does he?
Yep.
Wow.
So if he gets Colosseum now, he can burst through up to the top. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to recover it, but
I mean,
he could.
He can do Pale Lurker really quickly, so
Can he though?
in theory, he should be capable of doing that quickly.
No, I meant more like he doesn't really have like if he gets Fragile Strength, maybe, but like that's still.
I mean, yeah, if he equips that, but Pale Lurker only has 200 HP. That's a really fast fight.
Wow.
The slow part of Pale Lurker is the fact that it's hard to stay with him, and he has a stupidly large area of effect attack, which is really annoying to deal with.
That's fair, but I don't know where Mick is going right now at all.
He's going back to Colosseum. He opened the shortcut.
Oh right, yeah, he did. That's why. Mick is genius.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Mick is big dumb. Poor Mick.
That's unfortunate. Maybe he's just like I am and like striking things, and he didn't think about it.
I think that that is exactly what happened. And
I mean, it's hard. Like you see a lever and you want to smack it, but then it's like it locks you into a 20-second time loss, and it's like, why did I do this?
you know, I don't think that's the only thing that Mick had that thought about.
Probably.
As Mage is going after a militia, and that will be another reserve goal lost. Fortunately, Mick will be able to afford the Fountain Vessel Fragment, I believe, after Kala 1, but... Or it'll,
He's not going for Colin, he's going for Pale Lurker immediately.
Yeah, but he can come back for this.
I don't know if Mick is going to be able to do this in time before before Mage gets Emilitia.
Almost certainly not.
Yeah, exactly. Probably not, but it might, depending on how many detours Mage takes.
Yeah, if Mage checks Isthmus first, Mick has a shot with an instant Pale Lurker kill.
Yeah, but Mick also did not grab the... okay, that's an interesting look, isn't it?
It's modified for
right.
randomizer.
Yeah, okay. But Mick didn't get Fragile Strength, so...
Or, yeah, didn't equip it, you mean?
Yeah, he didn't equip it for Pale Lurker.
Yep, so that's another goal, which Mick got and lost. So, this lack of decisiveness on Mick's part has been devastating.
Mick's getting another King's Idol. He's gonna be a real rich little boy.
Well, after seeing Mage mark that, he now knows that he has to go for Fountain Vessel.
That's fair.
We're gonna see 10k on Mick's side, though.
Yeah, and Mage going for the goal I predicted that he was gonna go grab Emilitia.
Mick not doing a good job of keeping his health up. That's one of the big things you have to do with Pale Lurker is, like, the slowest thing on this fight is healing.
Yeah, and with that ridiculous AoE that Pale Lurker apparently can dig underground in midair. I did not know that. But that's a thing.
Yeah, I think deboosting during the area of effect is the most practical thing to do with no spells. But obviously that means a very heal-heavy strategy.
Yeah, and healing takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and I think that this is Mage ready to win by doing Soul Sanctum.
I don't have the card anymore. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Yeah, two Soul Tyrant or two Soul Warriors and Soul Tyrant are both goals that you can get in Soul Sanctum.
yeah, that won't be enough on its own, obviously, but afterwards, like, Queen's Garden is a very easy win.
He's got everything accessible to him at that point.
Okay.
Picking up that simple key just in case.
I mean, actually, could be, or he already, no, he didn't already buy one, so he can use that to get the hot spring. So
That's actually
nice.
a fair point. That's also a good synergy between those goals. Mick really should have committed to the Coliseum way earlier. Like,
Yeah,
these three goals have so much synergy between them.
right, this could have been a really good early play, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, like we were talking about earlier, like early Call of One is annoying because you want to do it optimally and with good damage, but nail upgrades make it fast enough, right? Like, it's never going to be longer than maybe 6 minutes at the most, 7 minutes, and
Yeah, and he lost that Fighting Hornet.
yeah, you lose that checking items, frankly.
And with the synergy between these goals, like I had completely forgotten the Paler can get a key that can be used for the hot springs. So that actually makes all of these three really synergistic.
Yeah, and I respect this play by Meg now, where like obviously it's tempting to go for Call of One while you're there, but he has to stitch the bleeding off at some point. Like, he needs to get Fountain Vessel, to get 3 King's Idols.
Yeah, it's too late to go for Call of One at this point. Like, if he were to do it right now, he would just hand over the victory. At this point, he has to leave it, grab other stuff.
Right. At this point, Mick needs every goal in row 3 and really row 2 as well. He needs to block off Mage completely.
Yeah, because he locked himself out of that one goal.
Okay, probably going to try and do Fountain Vessel on the way down to Broken Vessel, which makes sense, but
this is a lot of time, this elevator.
Super slow. Yeah, doing this first, but
I think it would have been faster to just pull down the elevator and then just wall jump up.
Yeah, probably. Oh, definitely. It's definitely faster to wall jump up there, but you don't always think about that since that requires wings.
Yeah, and also it's very rare that you have both wings and claw by the time you enter this area.
That's true.
At least in randomizers. Because it's usually very uncommon that you get all movement items this fast in a randomizer.
Yep, so I think we're going to see a pretty strong comeback from Mick. I don't know if it'll be enough at this point. That's my prediction. Mage has 9 goals at the moment. He can get 2 on this Soul Sanctum trip, but it'll take a while.
Yeah, Mick also needs to sell his relics.
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough GL otherwise. But that won't take too long.
Yeah, and luckily it's a collect 3 King's Idols, not have, so...
Yep, selling them is perfectly okay.
Oh yeah, and because he killed Hera earlier, this is also infected now.
As if things couldn't get worse, but... So yeah, if you're Mick right now, what are you thinking about doing? I think 3 King's Idols and Fountain Vessel, obviously. After that, also Hot Springs. You'll get all 3 of these goals right around the same time. Then after that, I guess maybe Broken Vessel, or do you do Trader Lord? Or do you do
you're going to be down nearby Broken Vessel by the time you get all these goals, because he's going to get Hot Springs now, then he's going to get Fountain Vessel and King's Idol, and he's going to be down in Ancient Basin at that point, right? So he's going to get Broken Vessel, probably.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, if you're Mick, do you go for Trader Lord or Call of One first? Or do you realize that Mage already has a guaranteed row 4 goal in Hornet, and not worry about trying to stop him there? Like, maybe Mick goes into full search mode for Dash Slash, because...
Shaman's Stone was found.
Oh, really?
With Shopkeeper's Key.
So that puts it in reserve for Mage.
Yeah, but my point is more, I don't think Mick is gonna get that.
It depends. It depends on whether Mick goes into search mode or Dash Slash.
Does he have to go into search mode, actually? Let's check what goals he can get. He can get King's Idols, Fountain Vessel Fragment...
I don't think it matters what goals Mick can get. I think that Mick has to get Dash Slash in order in order to make headway into row 2 and
Yeah,
block off Mage. Like
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I
I
think
think he needs to search.
I think Mick has to snipe 3 grubs in Queen's Garden in order to win at this point. Just because otherwise Mage will have too many options.
Yeah, that's gonna be really rough to do.
Yeah, Shaman Stone already makes Mage way too over-equipped relative to Mick, like with that extra goal in reserve.
Oh yeah, even with Mage not having any damage upgrades on his nail, like him just having Howling Wraiths is so much more damage compared to Mick.
Yeah, Wraiths is going to do a number on this Soul Master, or Soul Tyrant even.
I guess Mage could die to Soul Tyrant a few times, and that would potentially give it back to Mick.
I think that's the most plausible scenario in which Mick stages a comeback.
Yeah, because Soul Tyrant is kind of awkward if you don't have any damage.
Especially, yeah, with this Charm loadout and no nail upgrades, I think this could be pretty ugly for Mage, especially if he doesn't find any spells in Soul Sanctum, which is fairly unlikely but possible.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Soul Tyrant is one of those bosses where like he actually just gives you a free 3 healing if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if Mage is aware of that and plays even slightly carefully, he's not going to die.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, so this is good for Mick. This gets him up to what, 7?
Yeah, I think so. He needs to wait for this to disappear first.
Yeah, but that's
one of the downsides of the big logos is they actually block all interaction.
yes, very annoying in a few particular spots.
Yeah, something the 1xx runners are very aware of because it blocks you equipping Fury of the Fallen at the very beginning of the game.
Alright, so this is not really bad for Mick because Mage is not close to being able to snipe the Shaman Stone goal.
I like that Mick is not benching here. He knows that he's gonna need to save more bout afterwards.
What was that Mage
Isma's tier.
Isma's. I saw it as a big pop-up, but yeah, that out of all of the big pop-ups, that's the one which Mick does not care about right now. If that had been Dash Slash, it would have been bad.
Yeah, or any damage.
Yes, or any spell.
Even just Vengeful Spirit would have been
Vengeful
so big
Spirit's
for killing Soul
good.
Tyrant.
Vengeful Spirit is pretty good on these boss fights.
Yeah, like Soul Tyrant and Soul Master have these like long, like dashy things, right? And you get so many double or triple hits on those.
Yeah, so
if he had found even just Vengeful Spirit, I would have definitely, if I was Mage, I would have definitely equipped Shaman Stone and then gone into the fight. Meanwhile, Mick just taking this pretty safely.
yeah, fortunately, Broken Vessel, not a super long fight, so this is not going to cost Mick too terribly much time.
Yeah, and they don't have the intro here. Quality of Life is a good mod, by the way.
Yes, that also saves a ton of time on Broken Vessel, because
the intro is like, what, 20, 30 seconds or something?
Intro takes forever, yeah. Very annoying. Like, it doesn't even give you a soul refill or anything, so like, in speedrunning, it's just pure time waste where you're staring at all the health you lost from all lurks and wishing you made better life decisions.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice, I suppose, to have like 30 seconds to like breathe, but I don't know. It's not particularly great. Is Mick gonna check the item or is he gonna save quit out? He's gonna check the item. I think that's good because again, he needs to find some items here.
Right. Of course, in Mick's mind, he needs to find Spell Twist or Shaman Stone as well, but I think for us, he really needs to find Dash Slash.
Yeah, Dash Slash is really the key here. Finding Dash Slash, immediately going off and getting the grubs in Queen's Gardens, I think is what he should do here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that's gonna save him anyway because
oh no,
he just
surely
has so many options.
Is he doing Abyss now?
He could actually, since he does have
He doesn't have Wraiths.
That is true, but he does have King's Brand, so he can go check Shade Cloak.
That is such a terrible play.
Like, that's really slow.
That's a disastrous play, and it looks like now Mage is going for Hornet too.
He might just be going for the Stag.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Mick could do
better,
that.
but I think it would have been best to just save warp out, honestly.
No, Mick isn't going for the stag. I think
No.
Mick doesn't
And
realize that this streak is blocked by wraiths. A lot of people don't because you normally get it, and there's no obvious indicator in randomizer that it's doing something.
yeah, a big thing about that is also that for like what, a year and a half,
It
you
didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
like
Mick
for
is
like a year and a half, you didn't actually need it.
Mick is making a point. He's talking to Hornet.
Yeah,
Let's focus on the real mission here.
Mickey knows.
Mick's board position would be so much better with that goal.
Yeah, if he had that, like, it would be incredibly.
Of course, it's worth noting that Mage opted out of Soul Tyrant. So,
Big seeing that he doesn't have this. But yeah, like I was saying, for like a year and a half, you didn't actually need waves to get a Bishriek check.
yeah,
But then we changed it, like, what was it, 2 weeks before the tournament started?
I think it was not quite that close, but yeah, it was one of the more recent modifications to Rando 2.
It was really close. I think it was like patch 2.10 or something.
But yeah, this is one of those edge cases. It's rare enough to see an Abyss check, let alone an Abyss check without wraiths. And poor Mick was so close to actually getting wraiths if he had just checked Sharp Shadow.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think
Too. It was so close to Abyss.
like he would have gotten Dreamgate out of that. Like skipping the deep nest checks has cost him big time.
Yeah, but that's just because like
And not
checks
to
in this setup is so weird.
not to mention like I think almost all of Mick's problems with this race come back to his time in Deep Nest. Like skipping the items is hurting him now, and then he killed Hera while he was there, got an unnecessary tram pass, and then went to Hornet 2 where he died twice. Like that was the mid race joke for Mick. Now I think that his routing has really kind of recovered a bit, minus the
this is questionable, but
confusion.
this running decision in particular is questionable. But I mean,
it's an item. If this is Dash Slash, you know.
Yeah, but he could. Oh, his favorite charm though. So
okay, Mick making the mod block play for Dash Master. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to see that he has strength now? Yep.
Hey, it happened.
It happened.
He's had that for like so long.
Over an hour, easily.
Yeah, it would have helped him so much. Oh, and he's going back to distant vote. Does he think that he needs to speak to Hornet in the Abyss?
Yeah, the Abyss doesn't matter. You actually don't even have to pick up King's Brand to make her spawn.
You actually don't even have to speak to her in City of Tears to make her spawn here.
Well, of course not. The City of Tears is meant to be missable. As is this encounter, which we will see demonstrated by the fact that Mick has missed it.
Is the City of Tears really meant to be missable?
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you go to City of Tears, she talks about meeting her at the meeting her somewhere else. You know.
I mean, you get absolutely nothing for talking to her there. It's not required to get to Soul Sanctum or anything.
Well, but what you get for talking to her there is the information that she's going to be somewhere else for you, and that you should be prepared for that.
I mean, yes, casually you're supposed to talk to her there, but you're not intended to talk to her in a playthrough, per se.
Ooh, and Mage 12 out of 13 goals. That is a rough one.
Yes.
Can Mick win at this point? Yeah, Mick can still win, but it's really awkward.
Yeah, it's impossible for Mick to softlock out of winning, but it sure is hard for him to actually do it. At this point, yeah, Colosseum's really his only bet. Though he needs Dash Slash. Yeah, I mean, like, Dash Slash is absolutely required for him to snipe this stuff, which
he might be going off to check resting rounds.
No,
he still hasn't checked Soul Eater. No, he's not going. He's just gonna go to Colosseum.
Yeah, there's not a chance that Mick is doing anything but Colo at this point. Ideally for Mick, Mage goes to Colo at the same time and he finishes it first, but
I don't think that's enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mick needs Mage to be behind him, trying to do the exact same thing everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Like, winning in this position is basically impossible because it requires your opponent to misplay. Like, Mage has a very easy win condition.
In
Where,
Soul Tyrant.
not even that. Go get the 3 grubs in Queen's Guard.
Yeah, but Queen's Gardens could maybe get sniped if Mick gets really lucky with items. But, like,
I
Soul
mean,
Tyrant, there's just no way.
by the exact same logic, you can snipe Soul Tyrant. And the 3 grubs are faster and easier at this point. But we'll see what Mage feels like doing.
I don't know, I'd say Soul Tyrant is less likely since Mick would need to get lucky with a check and then get grubs and then get Soul Tyrant, which is like way unlikelier than just getting grubs and then also getting lucky with a check, you know? If you really want to be safe when winning this, you just go for Soul Tyrant at this point.
Well, we're already talking about the possibility that he doesn't know how to fight Soul Tyrant. Hence why he abandoned that play in the first place. So I would disagree with the idea that that's a safe play.
That is true. He might just not know it.
Is Mick forfeiting?
I don't know. Maybe he was just taking a breather?
Maybe. That definitely looked like the, stare off into the distance and regret your life decisions for a moment.
Yeah. Getting that 1,000-yard stare, you know?
Alright, Mage is going for Queen's Garden, so... Yeah, it seems pretty likely that he's not comfortable with this under-equipped Soulmaster fight, with no level 2 spells, no nail upgrades.
Bummer, because it's a really cool fight. And it also gives you, like I said, Soul Tyrant has this opportunity where you just get to heal 3 HP for free, basically. So, once you know that, the fight becomes a joke in terms of danger. But if you don't know about it, then, I mean, obviously it's going to be a lot more dangerous.
Who knows, maybe Mage will forget where one of the grubs is. And that will get Mick back into this.
Yeah, we can dream, right?
You never know. But yeah, so...
Take the easy strats.
Mick's one weakness, Mage. That was how he lost in a group stage as well. Though it also sort of seems to be like this late bad decision making, which just comes to the forefront against Mage. Because Mick can really bring his A game when he wants to.
Yeah, Mick.
Also, both runners are rusty, so I can't give them too hard a time for this.
Yeah, Mick is generally pretty consistent, but sometimes, sometimes it's just rough.
Yeah. I mean, he's absolutely one of the best randomizer runners out there. So
yeah, I just feel like when Mick gets tilted, he gets really tilted.
Yes, that is the truth.
Ooh, dashing down into the spikes.
Yeah, sometimes it really does feel like that.
Right there. Oh, we don't have that enabled? Come on, Mick. But Mick is now halfway through since he's killed the Vengeful King.
Yep.
Oh, and since he rescued Zod, does that mean that he needs to kill Zod to clear Coliseum 1?
He does. That's what I was saying before. He adds a minute to this goal by rescuing Zod.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds or something. It's actually pretty long.
It's pretty long, actually. The time it takes after Grozmother for Zod to spawn in, and then you still have to kill him.
Yeah, and he has to scream too.
Yeah, it's really long.
These aspects giving Mick a little bit of an issue. Meanwhile, Mage is dealing with his own little arena here. Not really much to say at this point. They're both just fighting.
Yep. Well, should I go ahead and go check where Dash Slash was?
I suppose you could.
Or Mick will just tell us, won't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Mick knows where everything is, right?
He will. He'll look at mod log for us.
Mick almost done with this. He's just got Grozmother, well, Grozmothers, I suppose, and then Zod left.
Yep, I think that Mick will pretty easily be able to get this last goal before Mage finishes. So
actually, is Mage gonna finish with Traitor Lord?
Oh, he might.
That is an option. Since he has Shade Cloak. It's very rare to see a Traitor Lord in a randomizer.
Yeah, this is one of 2 goals which can require that.
Yeah, but he didn't pick up the other grab, I don't think, the one in the Loodle room, so he might just go for Traitor Lord. Or he might just go for Loodle room.
Yeah, he might just go back for that, but he definitely missed that one.
Yeah. Something I found interesting, actually, is that Mage picked up 5 Essence really early on in, what's it say, in Resting Grounds, and that really paid off with the Dreamgate find.
True, although, you know, that Dreamgate was right outside a room with a Whispering Root, so...
True, he should have just gotten more Essence.
The option was there, you know? It was a dark room at the time for him, though, so he might not have been comfortable with that.
Mick bullying Zote a bit here.
Okay, and that brings Mick up to 9. So, pretty decent comeback, all things considered.
Yeah. For the absolutely devastating position he was in originally, it's not a bad comeback at all.
Yep, in before dash slash at Soul Eater, so Mick can get 10.
Yeah, dash slash at Soul Eater would really...
That would be something, right?
Would really give credence to that idea I gave earlier that he should have checked Soul Eater first, but I guess he doesn't even check it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Shopkeeper's Key is the check that really cost him, right? Like, not getting... I don't know how big the Shaman Stone goal is, but he would be in a much better place to stage a comeback now if Mage didn't have that goal.
Yeah,
Like,
Mage needing 2 goals instead of just 1 goal.
Coming back,
huge.
11 to 8 is or 11 to 9 is so much easier than 12 to 9.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mage is done, so GG to everyone.
Yeah.
That will move Mage on to winners finals. Or not winners finals, but grand finals. Where he awaits the winner of Mick versus the winner of me versus the winner of Simplex versus Murray.
There's a chain of victories that need to happen here.
Alright, time to mute Mick and ask him what? Time to mute Mick and ask him what, Mick?
Just everything about that race.
You know, it seemed like around the time you went into Deep Nest, you stopped having fun.
Where the fuck was Hornet?
You know,
you killed Hera too early.
That is a missable encounter.
I thought she still showed up if you like.
No, that is
progressed her quest enough.
Hornet spawns immediately after you kill Hera, if you have defeated Hornet 2. Those are the triggers.
We were vaguely hoping that you were gonna ruse lorry that, since the goal says talk to Hornet at Seat of Chair statue plus Hera. We were vaguely hoping you were gonna ruse lorry that. You spoke to Hornet at Seat of Chair statue and you killed Hera, so.
Yeah. Did you forget about Fragile Strength?
No, I didn't forget about it. I just didn't really want to use it all that much. I don't know.
I get that. Yeah.
Too many charm notches for it. I don't know.
That's
that
true.
whole fucking race. Like, if the turning point was Mage going to Mantis Lords and doing that, I figured I had a huge advantage with Claw behind that.
Yeah.
And then I see him mark Bretta and Slice. Well, there goes that.
Very surprising play by
shows
Mage. And that really did swing the race. Like, if he had missed Claw there, it would have been over. Actually, that was where Mage had the soft lock, was on the Mantis Claw pop-up.
Wow. Oh, so he didn't even lose anything then?
Right. Of course, he had to
go back, but
for Bretta and for Shea Cloak, but
oh sure.
Yeah, but too little, too late at that point.
Yeah, that was a really generous seed in terms of just giving out all the items, all the progression items. So Mage's gamble to go Brooding Moloch early paid off so big.
Honestly, if I wasn't such an idiot and didn't know that I could miss that Hornet encounter, I think I might have won.
Yeah, we were talking about how big a goal that was, also how big the Shaman Stone was, which was at Shopkeeper's Key.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, never really on your route, but if you had the buffer of the Talk to Hornet goal, then
Soul Warriors was my next
right.
target if I would have got the Hornet goal, but
Yeah, you
I
you
never
just
got the
got
Hornet goal.
you
So.
just got pinned by row 4 for so long, and you got sniped on so many row 3 goals because of it. Like
I know.
talk down Alicia and rescue Zote. Yeah, really painful. Let's see, do you have the mod log still? We have a few people asking where // was.
I can pull it up. I didn't crash, so I should have it.
Right. And congrats, by the way, to you, Mage.
This is the one, isn't it? Yeah. I'm just gonna search for it. Glowing womb.
Glowing womb. Well, I mean, in a seed like this, you just aren't gonna check anything, right? Like,
Right.
you guys had every movement item you could possibly want by, 40 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, and Glowing Womb is one of those checks that is really easy to forget too.
Yeah, I mean, it's never convenient for randomizer. You only
Yeah,
do that if
it
you're
wasn't so
full
much that
clearing
we were,
items.
because we had like everything. We were go mode, so
Yeah,
running around doing random checks just was never a possibility at that point.
Yeah, so it's very unlikely you would have ever found //
yeah,
Yeah, unless I could have.
right. Brought it back.
Yeah,
to
no
the
one would
point.
have found that because we would have been going for static goals the whole time.
Yeah, it would have had to have been 12-12 for you guys to search that deep. But, oh well. Yeah, I always hate seeds like this where, I don't know, it feels like the placement of items forces, or makes the bingo take a really weird course. Like, not to say that it was all luck, but definitely Mage got off to a really strong start thanks to Quick Slash and Cyclone Slash. So that almost from the very beginning you were facing an uphill climb before the Hornet mistake.
Where was Cyclone?
Where but it was at Wraiths. He checked Wraiths immediately after Mantis Lords.
Oh,
So
Yeah, Mage basically just got like everything in a big chain right there.
yeah, and so that's what put the score up 5-2, I think. Yeah.
oh yeah, there it is. Oh, unfortunate. I think I had that if not for the Hornet mistake. I could have swore that she showed up there, like later after you kill Hornet 2, even if Hera's dead. But whatever.
Yep. You forget about the race requirement for Shriek, I guess.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
figured I was in the area, so, and I wanted to talk to Hornet in Abyss to see if that would trigger her to go to Hera. So
Right.
I was there, forgot that I didn't have Wraiths, so.
Yeah. You were so close to Wraiths earlier, it was at Sharp Shadow, but like you said, you're go mode at that point.
Yeah, wasn't going to stop for checks when I needed goals.
Actually, Deep Nest led to a fair big difference between the two of you. It had Wraiths there and then Dreamgate at the chest.
Oh god, of course it did.
Yeah.
So, as if there weren't insult to injury at that point, Mage checked it early to get the 5 grubs, and then that put him up item-wise too. Yeah, this was a really weird rando seed, but what can you do?
I guess I just wasn't going to win this one. Whatever.
Sometimes that just happens, right?
Yep.
Well, GG anyways. You're still in a plenty good position tournament-wise.
Yeah, I'm still in the Losers Championship now, so.
That's right. You get to sit it easy and wait on the next 2 races to find out who your opponent is.
So that means I just need to win and then beat Mage twice.
Yeah. Well, like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm just counting on Mage to do my dirty work for me, and now all I have to do is win 4 times.
How difficult can it be, really?
And so I'm gonna knock Mick out with a losing record against him. Easy.
What, it'd be 3-1 then or something?
I think it's
The
2
one
to
that
1
matters.
2 to 1 for the tournament, but maybe a little worse for all time. But yep, that's the way double elimination goes, right? You only have to win when it counts.
Yep. Oh well.
Oh well.
Well, GG Mage. Congrats, son. Not fucking up Hornet. Oh,
It was so unnecessary too for you to get Hera while you were there. Like we were so confused.
yeah, it's just
You know it happens.
it's probably just a
sometimes,
lack
right?
of it's probably rust. I haven't played for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So-
both of you were super rusty, and that came through at a bunch of points. But I mean, that's what happens when your tournament takes a break for 3 weeks, right? Like we're all rusty to a different levels.
Yep. Yep.
We're gonna have another race in an hour and a half, apparently.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the Murray versus Ziplex race, which I believe Axe will be restreaming, or someone will.
I probably will.
It's a mystery. Mick will be doing it.
We'll figure it out as we go along.
Alrighty. Well, this is a good one to watch. So, yeah, we'll be back soon.
See you all in an hour and a half.